Shaurya, and you're listening to a brand new episode of The Aviation Files, a podcast for all aviation enthusiasts. Today's episode will cover Air India's new branding, livery, and cabin overhaul, the Concorde's latest news, the fires in Maui and their impact on airlines, and finally, a special segment on the history of British Asia Airways. Without further ado, let's begin. Our first topic for today is Air India and their new color scheme, branding, livery, and cabin. The Indian flag carrier recently unveiled its plan for its brand modernization. Brand association can make or break a company, and this holds true even in the aviation industry. Remember when Air India was privatized by the Tata Group? Well, they're taking another bold step in their transformation journey. Just recently, Air India revealed its brand new livery and logo, making a significant departure from its iconic Maharaja logo and red and white color scheme. The new design retains the essence of the old while embracing modern aesthetics. It's like a blend of tradition and innovation, which is quite symbolic considering Tata's previous ownership of the airline. The Jharoka design on the windows, a traditional Indian element, has been reimagined in the new Vistara logo. Air India's CEO, Campbell Wilson, and Tata Sons chairman N. Chandrasekaran unveiled the new look, emphasizing its reflection of a bold new India. But let's talk aircraft, shall we? No rebranding is complete without a fresh livery. Air India's aircraft will now flaunt its name in a new font along the fuselage and belly. And the tail, well, that's where the real eye-catching changes happen. The iconic red, a purple from Vistara, and a golden window eagle harmonize in a nod to the airline's past and future. This color palette extends to the rest of the plane with gold accents and red wingtips. The new livery is set to take to the skies in December, starting with the inaugural Airbus A350. Now let's not forget the interiors. Air India has heard the feedback loud and clear. Their aircraft needed a makeover, and CEO Campbell Wilson didn't disappoint. He revealed a sneak peek of the upcoming interiors for their Boeing 777 fleet. A whopping $400 million has been allocated for this refurbishment, and the results are impressive. In a 2-minute video, Wilson showcased the revamped first class, business class, premium economy, and economy cabins. Sleek brown, beige, and gray dominate the first and business classes, complete with privacy doors and wireless charging. Premium economy brings a breath of fresh air, offering extra space and footrests, a real departure from their older planes. Wilson shared that in about a year, the first of Air India's legacy wide-body aircraft will begin their interior refits. And speaking of refits, Air India is also adding new leased and purchased wide-body aircraft with these revamped products. By the end of this year, a third of their long-haul fleet will support these upgrades. And there's more good news for passengers. An extensive in-flight entertainment system boasting 1,700 hours of content will be available, putting Air India on par with other global airlines. Wilson emphasized that their entire long-haul fleet will undergo this transformation, ensuring passengers experience the latest and the greatest. While I may not be entirely won over by these changes, it's nice to see that Air India is making strides to stay competitive and offer a refreshing and new flying experience. Next, we move to New York, specifically the USS Intrepid Museum. For those of you that don't know, the Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum, located in New York City, is located on the USS Intrepid aircraft carrier and offers a captivating display of sea, air, and space artifacts, providing visitors with an inspiring journey through the history and of exploration and innovation. At the museum rests a retired Concorde aircraft registered Golf Bravo Oscar Alpha Delta. The former British Airways supersonic airliner will be getting a brand new coat of paint. The aircraft has been loaned to the museum by British Airways and was the fourth Concorde off the production line at Filton, UK. The aircraft, known as Alpha Delta within British Airways, the Concorde, has been situated at the Intrepid Air and Space Museum on Pier 86 in Manhattan Midtown area, along the Hudson River since 2008. This museum is positioned near the site where U.S. Airways Flight 1549 successfully performed the extraordinary water landing in 2009. While the aircraft is an integral part of the museum's exhibitions for the past 15 years, it has not been in an ideal state due to its exposure to the elements. A giant tent at GMD Shipyard Corporation at the Brooklyn Navy Yard will be used to house the aircraft so they may do the stripping, sanding, and repainting. Upon its retirement in 2003, British Airways looked for suitable locations for 6 out of its 7 Concorde aircraft. One of them, known as Alpha Delta, was chosen to return to the United States due to its strong connection with the country and particularly New York. The Intrepid Air and Space Museum expressed interest in displaying Alpha Delta, and it was transported to the museum in New York after being drained of fluids and having its engines removed. It was initially placed on a barge near the USS Intrepid while they constructed the area for it to be situated, before being moved to Floyd Bennett Field in Brooklyn in 2006 for maintenance, and finally to Pier 86 in Manhattan, where it rests till this day. After these repairs and restorations, Alpha Delta is set to be back on public display in spring 2024. In my opinion, they should do something special, maybe paint it in like a special livery or something, like an older British Airways scheme like the Landor and Negus liveries. However, I think they're going to stick with the current livery. While we're on the topic of the Concorde, LEGO, the building blocks toy manufacturer, is set to make a Concorde LEGO set releasing this September on the 7th. The $200 LEGO Icons Concorde is an impressive model that pays homage to the iconic aircraft. Measuring almost 3.5 feet in length and boasting a wingspan of 17 inches, this LEGO set captures the distinctive curves and features of the real Concorde airplane. However, what sets this model apart are the clever mechanical elements incorporated into its design. One of the standout features of this LEGO set is its hidden gear mechanism. Ingeniously designed, the model allows you to manipulate the landing gear by twisting the tail cone. This interactive element brings a sense of realism and engagement to the build, making it not just a static display piece, but also an interactive play item. Another impressive detail replicated in this LEGO set is the Concorde's droop snoot feature. Just like the actual aircraft, the LEGO model includes a manual function to lower the distinctive droop snoot, which pilots would do to improve visibility during takeoff and landing. This attention to detail adds authenticity to the model and showcases the level of thought put into its design. While the model doesn't accommodate LEGO minifigures like many other LEGO sets, LEGO compensates by providing a microscale look at the interior. A removable section of the fuselage allows you to peek inside and observe the seating arrangement and even the toilets, giving a glimpse into the intricacies of the aircraft's layout. As for availability, the 2038-piece set is set to launch at September 4th for LEGO VIP members, with the wider release scheduled for September 7th for the general public. The price tag of $200 might seem steep, but considering the scale, attention to detail, and interactive features of the set, it's likely to appeal to both aviation enthusiasts and LEGO collectors alike. Overall, the LEGO Icons Concorde is a testament to the convergence of engineering, design, and playability that LEGO sets often embody. Next, we move to Hawaii for a look at how the fires have been affecting airlines. In response to the devastating wildfires in Maui, U.S. airlines are taking various measures to assist residents and visitors affected by the crisis. Non-essential travel to the islands is being discouraged due to the situation. Around 15,000 visitors have already left the area, with airlines offering discounted fares and additional flights to facilitate the evacuation. Carriers are also collaborating with relief organizations and encouraging donations to aid partners. Hawaiian Airlines has played a significant role transporting over 12,500 people out of Maui within 72 hours of the fire starting. They've increased their flight schedule and even transported essential resources to the affected area. The airline is providing flexibility for passengers, allowing cancellations with refunds or credits, and offering $19 fares on specific routes to assist those urgently needing to leave. American Airlines has similarly increased its flights to help evacuate travelers, utilizing larger aircraft to accommodate more people. They've partnered with the American Red Cross, offering frequent flyer miles in exchange for donations. Delta Airlines has provided extra flights, fare caps, and travel waivers for affected passengers. They're contributing $250,000 to the American Red Cross. United Airlines is matching miles donated to relief organizations and sent cargo shipments with critical supplies to Maui. Alaska Airlines, not typically operating inter-island flights, has organized flights to help evacuate passengers and transport essential supplies. Southwest Airlines is also assisting by adding flights and encouraging support for local relief organizations. Analysts predict that the wildfires' impact on Maui will have lasting effects on demand for both airlines and tourism. The fires, which began on August 8th, have become the deadliest in modern U.S. history, with a death toll of 89 as of Saturday. The situation has led to a collective response from airlines prioritizing the safety and well-being of those affected by the crisis. Finally, we move to our special segment on British Asia Airways. Introducing British Asia Airways, a brief history of a lesser-known airline. British Airways, a prominent member of the One World Alliance and the UK's flag carrier, is a globally recognized airline, famed for its distinct white, blue, and red livery. Yet concealed within its lineage lies a lesser-known chapter, the story of British Asia Airways, a subsidiary that lasted but a brief span. Let's delve into the enigmatic tale of the subsidiary and its origins. In 1993, British Airways unveiled British Asia Airways, a subsidiary station in Taiwan whose operations focused on a solitary route. Departing from its London Heathrow hub, the subsidiary flew to Taipei Taoyuan International via Hong Kong to Kai Tak, employing specially adorned Boeing 747-400s for its fleet. Despite this unique endeavor, British Asia Airways vanished from the aviation scene in less than a decade, ceasing operations in December 2001. Following its closure, its Boeing 747-400s either met the scrapyard or underwent rebranding to join the British Airways' primary fleet. However, the rationale behind British Asia Airways' establishment is obscured by political intricacies. Notably, British Airways wasn't the sole carrier to resort to this strategy. Airlines like Qantas, Japan Airways, KLM, Air France, and Swissair created subsidiaries to serve Taiwan due to political tensions. China's perspective on Taiwan as a renegade province prompted the Chinese government to enact a decree. According to this decree, any airline operating flights to China was barred from flying into Taiwan and vice versa. In response, these airlines conceived subsidiary carriers deliberately stripped of their parent carrier's national symbols, which advocated neither for nor against Taiwan's independence. British Asia Airways ditched the Union flag for Chinese symbols, Qantas replaced the kangaroo with ribbon design, and the other airlines adopted similar subtleties. This enabled them to continue operating flights to Taiwan without overtly supporting its independence, while their main carriers flew to China bearing national insignia. By December 2001, British Airways withdrew operations from Taiwan, leading to the grounding of British Asia Airways. The decision was primarily due to insufficient demand for the Taipei-London route, rendering the subsidiary economically unviable in the long run. While the airline struggled for many years, a symbolic direct flight transpired in 2017, marking renewed trade agreements between Taiwan and the UK. Today, Taiwan's own China Airlines operates non-stop flights from Taipei to London Heathrow, directly connecting the UK capital 5 times weekly. Examining British Asia Airways' fleet, records revealed that the subsidiary operated 5 leased Boeing 747-400s from its parent company. Presently, 2 have been scrapped, 1 remains derelict, another is stored, and the final aircraft stands preserved as a testament to the fleeting era. In this tale of British Asia Airways, one finds a confluence of geopolitical tensions, strategic maneuvering, and aviation history. This subsidiary, albeit short-lived, carved its mark as a response to an intricate political landscape, ultimately succumbing to the demands of economics and practicality. I think that's all the time we have for today's podcast. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and thanks for listening. Until next time.